Have no fear, because Mayberry is here. Have no fear, because Mayberry is here.
Who?
Have no fear, because Mayberry is here. 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 Yeah, it's me again. Hello. Today we have here Miss Comelia Walker, a Canton native, is a dedicated educator, mentor, and community leader, a graduate of the Jackson. What y'all say? The y'all real funny. Y'all real funny. The Jackson State University with degrees in mathematics and teaching, and Mississippi College with an ED.S in educational leadership. Hello. She has consensually served her community through education and civic engagement. Ms. Walker has contributed to student success through various leadership roles. She founded Finally First. Finally First is a mentorship program focused on personal development and empowerment. Additionally, she has led the beautification in I can't initiate y'all know what I'm talking about, to enhance the city environment and foster community pride. Ms. Walker is currently running for mayor of Canton, Mississippi, exit 119, under the campaign A New Way, A New Voice, Citizen, Communities, and Connection. Her vision is to drive the economic growth, improve education, and strengthen community engagement through transparent and innovative leadership. A firm believer in faith and service, Ms. Walker is committed to making a lasting impact of Canton. She lives by Zeta Phi Beta sorority mantra. All is conquered by labor. Hello, vote Comelia Walker. Yo, I'm back. I'm better. Y'all see me. Y'all see what I got with me. Everybody introduce yourself real quick. Introduce yourself real quick.
My name is Dylan Robinson.
I am Comelia Walker.
Ronald Middleton.
And y'all know me, I'm Chris Mayberry. Y'all already know what's going on for real. Let's go and get it started. Miss Comelia Walker, how have you been?
I have been great. I've been on the campaign trail, excited. The citizens are excited. The youth is excited. We have a reason to see a new day.
I've been seeing you doing your thing. Now I love to see it. Who do you got here with you today?
So right now I have some community individuals. I have Reverend Ronald Middleton, who is a great citizen in Canton, Mississippi. He's the pastor of Alma Jerusalem. And I also have Dylan Robinson. He's a ninth grade.
Okay, then go on ahead. Shout out to y'all now.
Thank you, sir.
Let's go ahead and get into it. What are your top priorities for this city?
All right, so something that I want to prioritize initially is, of course, being able to set a foundation. With setting a foundation, make sure that we have established what vacancies we need or what vacancies we have, but also establishing what our problems are and being able to know the strategy to approach each problem.
Hello.
We know that currently our citizens have expressed that crime is a big issue. Something for the kids is also a necessity. And also being able to feel that they trust the leadership with transparency and honesty.
Hello.
So those are my three top priorities if I had to do a 1 to 3.
Okay, how do you plan on pursuing those priorities?
Great question. It is up to the citizens on how they elect the mayor and board of aldermen.
Hello.
So with the citizens electing an inclusive board of aldermen that can be able to have an inclusive vote on what's best for Canton based on the majority of the citizens' need, we then can approach it with getting a majority vote on things that would best be able to address these concerns.
Okay.
With being able to, as I said, identify the foundational things with a transition committee. Once I'm elected as mayor, I want to be able to have a community that decides how we'll be able to transition. Like people like Reverend Middleton or even Dylan, they can be able to come in and say, well, I think these are things that kids would like, or these are things that us as citizens who've been here for a very long time would be able to or like to see. Being able to have the input from the citizens is going to be critical.
Okay, that's good. What made you want to run for mayor?
Great question. I'm so glad that you asked.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, back in 2017, as I was elected Miss Jackson State University, I was then approached to see if I wanted to run for mayor. But at that time, I was pursuing something else. I also wanted to finalize or finish school before I decided to run for mayor and learn more about it. Now that I understand and have learned more about being or serving as mayor, I now understand that it's not as difficult as people make it seem. It's you just catering to the needs of the citizens and being able to love on those that do not have your last name. And when I truly understood that, that made me want to be able to be a voice for my people, listen to their concerns, and be able to give them an answer when they ask these questions.
Right. Being a Miss Jackson State, how was that experience?
It was phenomenal. I mean, I'm the second Miss Jackson State to serve from Canton, Mississippi.
Hello.
So being able to go to a place where our city is not well known, or even we are sometimes considered, the city of hospitality, it's quite different. But to be able to be embraced and know that what I have learned at home can be able to affect so many, over 8,000 students, that made me feel great.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Yeah. I would love to be a part of that.
I have one of the things that I've always been amazed at or great to say is that I'm a Cantonian. And I've always been gracious to say that.
Me too.
Yeah.
I love from Canton. Yeah. They say, you from Canton? Yes, I'm from Canton. Yes, I know it. Some hate us, some love us. I'm here. I'm maybe. I'm here. So, what's a measure would you take to ensure the transparency and accountability of your role?
Okay, so with transparency and accountability, one, that is the purpose of board meetings and town hall meetings.
Right.
I want more citizens to be able to come there with them understanding that once they voice their concerns, that someone will be able to respond to it. When they ask questions, we will be able to give it to them, not under the table, but in the public's light, because if they have the concern, there will be someone else that could very well have the concern. But also utilizing our website to communicate things before people even ask questions. If we know that we're making a decision on something, we should include them, but also let them know the outcome of what they decided. So being able to just effectively communicate, have follow-up and follow-through.
Okay, that's good. That's good. How do you plan to involve the community in decision-making process with it?
So, two things that I would like to implement is, of course, a mayor advisory council and a mayor youth council. So, with the mayor youth council, we will be able to include the input of the young people, be with them on a regular to just see what their thoughts are, see what they would like to do, if it's in their community, or see what they like to bring and communicate those things to them. With the mayor advisory council, there will be more experienced citizens like reverends or even community leaders or just people that are well equipped and invest in the community, have their input on things that are coming up and see what their thoughts are about it and what's the best way to approach it, but also get more citizens involved in the decision making.
Okay, yeah, that's good. I see you got Bobby Rush coming down here.
I do.
Hey, shout out to you.
Yes.
Shout out to you.
The reason I wanted to be able to do that is because one day I envision Canton being a place where we can enjoy entertainment right here.
Yes, ma'am.
Not just travel to surrounding cities, but be able to have experiences surrounding entertainment, not just for the adults, but also for children. So we can do it right here in our neighborhood, because we know how to have a good time without anything happening.
Right. How do you plan to support your local businesses and small businesses in Canton?
Great job. So something that I would like to, a great question, something that I would like to do is evaluate or go through our permit, how they obtain their permits, what's that process for them to be able to even establish a business. I want to be able to make it seamless, because if we don't make it seamless, then we close the doors to people and they want to go elsewhere that makes it more seamless.
Wow.
In addition to that, I also want to be able to identify incentives for them. What is it that will be able to benefit you if you bring your business to Canton?
Hello.
How can we assure that when you get here, you know that this is the best place in the world that I can get for business? But in addition to that, finding funding, whether it's grants that can support those small businesses.
That's what I'm talking about. How do you plan to address the issue of public safety in our community?
So one, we know that we are understaffed with our police department. So something that I would like to do is be able to get a full-time grant writer. With the full-time grant writer, as we did our comprehensive plan, something that our city has used X amount of dollars to pay for with engineering. Go through that and see what grants we can apply for to get more citizens or more individuals hired through our police department, but also be able to give them resources that they need. Not just the police department, but also our fire department.
Right.
If we have the resources that we need, then we then can be able to address our public safety concerns.
Right.
But being able to also build that trust between the citizens and the police department. Because once you call in something, I would hate for every citizen to feel like I called and nothing happened.
Wow.
To be able to assess whatever you called about, we then can get those answers and build that trust. But I would also like to implement a neighborhood watch program so that if there's someone in every neighborhood that's on watch and they can call in certain things.
Can't help but get better.
You come on now.
We can't help
Because
but
if the citizens outnumber the leadership.
Hello.
So if the citizens are more involved in public safety, then we will be somewhere.
So I hear you talking about relationship. Your main interest at the beginning on this, your foundation gonna be about relationship, creating relationship with the younger, the older, bring them together with a plan. And my question with you would be, where would you start?
So with the Mayor Advisory Council and the Youth Council, that will start. To first be able to get them to see how each one of those groups thinks differently, and then I identify how I can bring them together. Because if I get all of them in the room, it may be some disconnect. But with first establishing how we can then approach separately, then I can bring them together to be able to see what are some things that we could do as in a community, but also as a city that can bring us all together.
Thank you.
So, as the crime rate is big in the city, with you, what is your plans to lower the crime rate within juveniles in the city?
Okay, so with eventually the goal is to be able to bring something for you all to do. After school, what do you all do?
Many of us go and play sports, play games, and many of us do other activities.
Yeah, so beyond that, for those individuals who are not athletes or who do not have anything to turn to, there's nothing for them to do. So being able to establish something for them to do, whether it's recreational or even be able to be academic related, but that won't just drive them to be able to be feeling like they work from 9 to 10 and not academically. Finding something that stems them and gives them exposure will be able to be something that I would like to implement for you all.
What recreational events would you bring to the city of Canton?
Great question. So there's this thing called STEM, science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics, with different programs targeted towards that, like robotics, maybe community enhancement things, or even being able to get you all to see what do you want to do. If you say that I may want to be an engineer, let's be able to partner you with a mentor that's outside of the city of Canton. Then you could be able to travel to them, maybe do some oversight or some shadowing with them, but be intentional with how we do outreach with you all. But that would be something that I initially know that I would like to do before we try to see if we did some really nice big event space here for you all.
Yes, ma'am. In the city of Canton, with entertainment, you brought that up earlier. As you said, many people in Canton, many juveniles do not have anything to do. So, what events would you bring? And events as in fun events, example, skate rink,
Yeah.
or happy fun places,
Yeah.
bowling alleys. What would you bring to the city for us to get that?
Yeah. So something that we first have to be able to see is the money. Money is always a thing that will be able to bring these things to Canton. We know that the Hope Center is or has a plan to the city of Canton. So being able to establish what is already coming and then seeing how we can support those efforts to do it faster because it's already in the works, that will one help. But also two, seeing what we can do as we wait for those funds. How can I be able to strategize and research ways to be able to bring a skating rink, a bowling alley, or what type of investors wouldn't mind coming here and doing so? So it will take a lot of relationship building, but first we have to make Canton presentable in a way where people will want to do business in the city of Canton.
Hello.
I can't tell you what that time frame will be dealing, but I know I work effortlessly to do that because if there was something that I would say, what is one thing I want to walk away from, if I did anything on my list, would be to make sure there's something that comes for the kids in Canton.
I heard you say beautification. So you have a plan. You're looking at how can we beautify, make Canton attractive,
Yes.
that people will want to move to Canton, come visit our stores. So that's going to be a big challenge
A very challenge.
to change the face of Canton.
I think we know it will be a challenge, but I think the main thing is being able to let the businesses know that there is someone who's behind beautification. If we are enforcing our policies and our procedures on whatever the dilapidated housing is here and following up with that, then they know that someone's held accountable. But if we're not doing that, then there's no point in people coming. So beautification is definitely a big deal.
What is your direct vision for the youth of Canton?
So my direct vision for the youth of Canton is to be able to, one, allow them to remain citizens of Canton, homeowners. In addition to that, be able to allow them to go to college, come back and invest in their community, make them contributors and not receivers. And also allow them to be able to know that they don't just have to go to college. They can be able to be a cosmetologist, a barber, or even be able to work at Amazon, the Coca-Cola cleaner, or ABC warehouse, and still have a life in Canton just as everyone else, but thrive while they're doing it. Be able to know that this is a place where they can go to church, come out, their children can be able to go somewhere safe, they can be able to walk around the city of Canton, explore different sites, and be at green spaces, but know that Canton can be home and they don't feel like they're settling.
All right. In the city of Canton, with Kenton Public School District, the graduation rate is 91%. What is your way to improve that rate in the curriculum?
Well, one, being able to work hand in hand with the superintendent and as well as the Kenton board, with them being able to see how can the city support them, their efforts, and being able to bridge those gaps between the students in school when they're at home as well, because there are things that take place at home that is beyond their control as well as the city. But there are things that we can do in the community to make it worth their while with going to school, but also make it worth their while to learn while they're there.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
So it seems as though you're trying to make the attitudes we have about can change.
Yes.
To a more positive attitude. I want to be a Ken Tiger. I want to go to be a part of the system of Ken. I'm proud of being a Kentonian.
Yes.
You want that to be a connecting vibe across the city of Ken. So what is it going to take to create that atmosphere where the people have more positive attitudes about Ken?
Well, one, being able to listen to everyone, not just feeling that there is a certain age group or a certain individual who can make those decisions, speaking out and holding those individuals who have the control over decision making accountable. With us just saying, okay, we're going to just let Mayor Walker do whatever. That's not the way it should be. If I'm wrong, Reverend Middleton, you should be able to come to me and say I'm wrong, but then also be able to approach me and say, well, I think this is a better way, and I hear you out, and then strategize a way to fix that concern. But it's also going to take parents being able to be more involved, citizens being able to be more involved, and not shut out when you see Billy doing something wrong, and expressing what can help or how you can help. It will really take a village for us to be able to change the system.
So you're trying to really bridge us together, bring us together to create a more of a family relationship.
Canton is a family, and we thrive on that, but we really don't do the work to show that. So with us being able to come together in the physical form, we then will be able to see where Canton can go.
Thank you, ma'am.
How will you ensure that all neighborhoods in our city receive equal attention and resources?
Well, although that is something that I will pretty much oversee as the mayor of Canton, it is important that we hold our aldermen and alderwomen accountable.
You're right.
That is the purpose of having them and electing them. In those town hall meetings, which they oversee, the citizens are to report their concerns to their board of aldermen and their alderwomen, which is why this election is so critical. You should pick the individual who will be able, will respond to you and not avoid you, but also will get the job done. So it will take us all, not just one person, but it will take the mayor working alongside the board of aldermen to be able to prioritize every neighborhood.
Right.
I have a question.
Yes,
This may be a very hard question, but you're young.
Yes, sir.
You're very inexperienced politically in the Ken arena. So how will you convince that senior person in Ken that they have the abilities and the mindset to represent them as their mayor, even though elderly people tend not to relinquish leadership to younger people.
Right. Yep.
So what do you going to do to bring that to dispel that? Because I'm convinced personally that a person of a young age doesn't mean he or she is not able, given the chance. So you're gonna need the senior backing, experience backing to support you in your drive. So what's your plan?
So great question. Thank you for asking that. I think it is important that when we say we want to change, what does it look like? One. But also two, if asked questions and I can be able to answer every question that you're asking me, then that shows that I'm experienced in the field of Canton specifically, which is why I prepared long before I decided to run.
Okay, very good.
But also with the Mayor Advisory Council, once elected, those are the experienced individuals. So with being able to know that firsthand, I'm including them on the decision and the input that I'm making, then it's not as if I'm going with it without the input of the elderly, but I'm including them in that decision making. So that's how I want to approach it, not before electing, but even after then.
Well, I see that you look as though you have a very good plan in mind as you look to the future, because planning is what it's going to take. planning, and prayer,
Yes.
and the effort and the mindset to go at it the right way. Thank you for your just want to volunteer to be our mayor.
Okay. Oh, I see that you got your finally first mentorship program. Could you talk to us about that? Give us some details on that.
So, growing up, I was the oldest of four at the time. Now I'm the oldest of five on my mom's side, and I always prioritized the needs of my siblings. So when I got to college, it was finally me. I was finally prioritizing myself first. And so as I began to experience other young ladies and other young men, we all were putting something or someone before ourselves. So I started a program, which is now a nonprofit, and it's titled Finally First, with us being able to establish ourselves as first. Then it was self-care, self-love, and self-worth. Now it is self-care, networking, and social action. We're being able to go beyond just ourselves, but go into the community and prioritize the needs of other individuals while still keeping ourselves first.
Right.
So I wanted to be able to now bring that to Canton as a nonprofit because I wanted to make it bigger. And I want to be able to just show citizens my story, but also be able to enhance the efforts of other kids.
Okay, that's good. Give me 3 words to describe yourself.
Faith, family, and future.
Gotcha. The 3 F's.
The 3 F's.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I got another question. Okay. So, when it comes to, well, you don't mind me asking, what is your job at the moment?
I'm a student success coach at Millsaps College.
All right. So, for a random, not even random, a citizen, a youth citizen of Canton, Mississippi, how would you inspire them that they can be somebody?
Great question. So I grew up in Canton East States. Not sure if you know what that is, but I was born and raised there. I used to be able to walk to my aunt's house and ask for sugar. Like we stayed that close. But I am Canton. I have been in the worst parts of Canton, but I've also experienced the best parts of Canton. And being able to touch the lives of every child across the board of wherever they are, I can be able to connect with them because that didn't define me. I then went on to college, to high school. I graduated number 2 in my class. I have my BS, I have my master's, I have my specialist, and in May of this year, I will graduate with my doctorate. So that's a testament. As I'm running for mayor, I'm in school pursuing my PhD to know that I'm an inspiration. Not because I'm doing it for my personal gain, but doing it to be able to let every other young person know that no matter what you want to conquer, you can do it all.
So your motto is going to be, I can.
I can.
And we can.
Canton can. Canton can.
What's that been your motto during this whole campaign?
All is conquered by labor.
Oh, yeah.
One more time so we can understand that. Express that to me.
All is conquered by labor. So it's a Zeta mantra that basically you cannot expect anything to be given to you. You have to work for it. So every day throughout my campaign, I have been working. I mean, like I have remained consistent, not because I'm trying to prove anything to myself, because I know me, but I'm proving to the citizens that I'm worthy of their time. I'm worthy of them knowing that I can be able to represent them in rooms that they do not exist in, but alongside them to be their partner in progress. So without labor, you can't get anything. We know we have a long way to go as a city, but I'm willing to work tirelessly every day through labor.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
We pray much strength and the victory.
Thank you. In Jesus' name. So my campaign runs on a new way, a new voice, a better Canton. It is so important that we truly understand that it is time for us to choose leaders that will be able to get us where we want to go. We have asked for years and years for something different, for a change. Canton, this is your opportunity to not only change your leadership as it pertains to the mayoral seat, but your leadership as it pertains to the aldermen and alderwomen. Evaluate each and every citizen, ask those hard questions, and if they are not being able to include you in their vision, be sure to note that once you go into the voting place and select that candidate. I thank you, I love you, and I wish you all the best.
Hello. Everybody throw deuces up there.
Deuces.